We love hip hop.
He's been making his rounds. He popped up, or not making his rounds. To be honest, he did a 5-hour episode over at the Joe Budden podcast.
Yeah, on Patreon though.
Yeah. They haven't released it publicly yet, but there's a few things that popped off of that that people are clinging on to now for the pieces that are out. And he had some things to say about Eminem being the GOAT or not being the GOAT. Okay.
Yeah.
The Neanderthal nation. Oh, yes, I do. The reason I'm going live tonight is I want to address the Neanderthal nation. I'm going live tonight. I want to address the Neanderthal nation.
Whoa.
Oh, yes, I do. I want to talk black to the Caucasians who have been stalking me for the past 48 hours. I want to talk to the Neanderthal nation tonight, the Caucasian community. You have been cyber stalking me for 48 hours, and I don't mind. I don't mind. You can continue to do it as long as you want, because I don't care if the opinion of every Caucasian is to the contrary. I say what I mean to say, and I stand on everything I say 10 toes down. But let me say this to the Caucasian community. Let me say this to the Caucasian community. When I look at your anger, when I look at your rage, when I look at the responses from America's Caucasian community over this issue of Eminem being the GOAT of hip hop, and let me say this, I have nothing personal against Eminem. My comments on the Joe Budden podcast had nothing to do with Mr. Marshall Mathers personally, and I want.
So basically, he was saying that Eminem can't be the GOAT because he's been in, he's not part of the.
No, it's because it's blacks created hip hop.
Right.
That's why he can't be the GOAT of hip hop.
Now, whether I agree with his sentiment or not, because I don't completely agree with that. Like, hip hop has been inclusive over the years, and Eminem done a lot of great things in hip hop, even for the black community. But besides that, do you think that Dr. Umar believes the things that he be saying, or he just knows that the things he says is going to go viral? Because he really pushes, like when it comes to interracial relationships, all the things that he says he believes.
Yeah.
They sound good, but we know if you give these takes, they're going to go viral. Eminem's not the GOAT. Oh my God, everybody's going to have an argument about that, especially with Eminem having a huge fan base.
Yeah, but it's mostly white fan base because that's what they can hold on to from hip hop to make them feel a part of it. Until Eminem really came into play, let's just say the white consumer had to try to relate to us.
Yeah. They didn't have a spokesperson, I said.
Right? That's like had the same relation to them until Eminem came and was like, I want to kill my wife and my mom, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that white kid in his room was like, I want to kill my mom. Like, yo, bro, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got a rap version of what the grunge music was.
Right? But he's an actual hip hop head, and he contributed to that part of it.
And he raps really well. It's not like we're talking about a guy who just rapped okay, but he just couldn't completely relate to what he was talking about. But his raps were just
purple, and he still would be a GOAT.
Yes.
Now let me show you something. I almost would feel like that if I was an ignorant black man. If I was coming from an ignorant point of view.
Like, right? He ain't black, so he can't be like, what?
So then that means we got to take away all the championships from Michael Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe, and Shaq.
Yeah, because they had white guys on their team helping.
Not only that, they're playing a white made-up sport. Basketball was made by a white man, dog.
This is true.
So then I want all black people take Jordan off your goddamn goated list. You got to put Larry Bird there now.
That's if you're gonna,
all right. We made up.
Larry Bird's the GOAT, man. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Take away all day numbers and everything because it was invented by a white person. That's like now a white person saying that. Okay, yo, we made up basketball. and it's a Canadian too. Okay, yo, because he ain't Canadian and he ain't white, all right, he can't be the GOAT.
See, Joe Budden needed you on that panel right there. You would have been like, I got you, Umar.
I would have had.
What about
Umar.
basketball, nigga?
I would have had Umar running laps because I f***s with him.
Yeah.
But I can see where the flaws come into play, right? When you push something like an agenda, like if you tell, if a white parent tells their white daughter, don't mess with these nignogs, she gonna mess with us. So the more and more he keep telling black men, hey, don't be bunny hopping, don't be.
Oh my gosh,
Bro.
She goes crazy with that, fam. And listen,
niggas is
nobody gonna want to hear it from us. You know what I'm saying? Because be like,
oh, y'all be white women anyway, so who cares what y'all gotta say?
Right?
Fam, listen, that's a whole story right there. Like, we can get into it.
Got to.
But like, his whole thing is a lot of people who got black voices can't really stand up for their community proper if they're sleeping with the snow bunnies. Do you believe that?
Do you know what kind of argument that would be if it like, how could you be like pro-black
with a white woman and vice versa type shit?
That means the argument when you're a white woman is you want her to be a black woman and act like a black woman every argument. Then you can't do it. Like it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
He has a point there. And coming from Black America, he sees shit different than we do. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, but Frederick Douglass, okay, he was with a black woman before, and then after she died, he ended up with a white woman. Is his words less powerful? You feel me? Malcolm X, before he became Malcolm X, and he was red.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He was laying up with the snow bunnies. You know, yes, he became a part of the Nation of Islam after. And
maybe that's where he went wrong, becoming part of Islam. That's why they killed his ass. He should have kept sleeping with them snow bunnies.
Just stay with the snow bunnies.
Should have kept sleeping with them snow bunnies, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If that was working for him, you know what I'm saying? You have no choice on who. Well, you do have a choice who you love.
No, fam. If you love who you love, it doesn't make you any less black, fam. Like, listen, fam, I don't feel my people are less oppressed because I sleep with a white woman. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that angle that he's been pushing, and other people, you know what I'm saying? Charlemagne the God, he kind of goes hard on that angle too. He's like, listen, I'm pro-black. I just, I'm just for my people. But the way they go hard, like they sound kind of, I don't want to say reverse racist, but they sound prejudiced. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you got to understand where they're coming from, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, where they come from, you don't see a speck of white probably until you went to like college. You know what I'm saying? And then after like you get 1-2 discriminating things happen to you, could put a foul taste in your mouth forever.
Fam, I've been called the N-word straight up by white people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
By your own woman, though?
Not by my own woman, but
right.
but by exes.
And then you see where it goes.
Well, they're exes for a reason.
But when they were sucking and effing, you
can get tricky. Holy, I might be if Dr. Umar was in the room with me right now, he would have had me in a check position. Yeah. So you telling me you've had an ex that called you a nigga?
Hey, she's still alive?
That happened. Yeah.
So exactly. Now
that might be a little tricky territory right there.
You know what I'm saying, right? So now you were just with a black woman, and she mad at you, and she calling you with the N-word and all that. You know what I mean? Is it the same way?
No. But the woman I'm with now, we've had times where we get into arguments and it gets heated, and that I don't even think crosses her mind.
I'll be real. Mine has said it. You know what I mean? With the ER or the NA at the whatever. And I gotta be like, do I crash out? Do I crash out? Right now, I just have to let the person know, like, every time you say that, you put more of a curse on yourself. So now it's just like you don't love yourself or you don't love your children, one or the other, right? So it gets tricky being in an interracial relationship.
You say Dr. Umar might have some points.
Dr. Umar has the most. He has a lot of points. He has a lot of points.
Listen, fam.
He has a lot of points, but you can choose who you love, though.
Is it different in Canada, though? Because they'll say to us, well, y'all are Canadians, y'all don't understand. And I know Canada has racism because
of course,
the people who called me the N-word weren't from the States or whatever. Like, I'm talking about downtown Toronto. I've told the story on the podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where you just came out the building. We were like having like not an argument, but he was trying to talk to me too much. And I was like, bro, I don't want to talk to you, fam. Like, why are you talking to me? Yeah. And once we got to the corner, he was like, nigga.
Oh, but he waited for you to run, like walk away.
He waited for you was distance enough where I can't. If I go running at him in the street, I'm gonna look crazy.
Oh, I've done that, and I've socked the person out. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, but like I don't go home.
But I'm not that. Yeah. So it's like you gotta like it's with a grain of salt sometimes, right? It depends how they're saying it, man. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm not gonna go home and hate my chick now because of this idiot on the road.
Well, flip, you can't watch Roots, and I can't watch Roots with or one of these. I can't. I just can't. I'm sorry. Or any type of
mad
documentary.
at Shorty for the whole week.
I'm putting on a Klansman flipping outfit after like, yo, this is a black Klansman after that. Crazy. Yeah, very racist.
Anytime you see Roots just pop up on the TV, switch the channel, baby. Switch the channel.
Oh man,
no Roots.
That's the thing though. It's just like, it's how they're raised. It's how the person's raised, right? Now, if they're already coming from that bloodline of racial flipping integrity,
you can't flip it.
It's gonna be in your bloodline, dog. It's gonna come out one day. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're mad, whether they're singing it in a rap song, whether it's inevitable. But we always tend to be like, if you really look at it, white people are attacked a lot more too, because they're the ones, in a sense, who have to take it like they're the racist ones all the time, or they cause all the trouble, right?
It's called white guilt.
That's what we'd want to say it is, but if you really take it in,
when you start feeling bad for white people, that's called white guilt.
No, the thing that they're quote unquote going through, where people are blaming them for things that their ancestors did that they didn't do, right?
Yeah.
Right. So now they overcompensate and all that. They feel guilt, right? That's white guilt, right? You know, I want to be part of the movement. Yeah.
Well, which they should be.
They should be, but they're not doing it they're doing it because like, oh my God, you know.
Doing it because other people are doing it, not because.
Yeah. And it's like, you know what? Well, maybe my people.
Nah, man. It's like, I'm saying like, we always say, yo, like, look how we're saying, we could say kind of like, look how Dr. Umar can come up and say all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now make a white person kind of say that for their own people.
He becomes Nick Fuentes.
Yes, and then you know what I mean. So
yeah.
And they get always bashed about them being racist. So it's like, if they say anything, yo, you're racist.
So you can have a pro-black guy, but you can't have a pro-white guy. That's crazy.
It's crazy, but they get all the advantage anyways, right? So
if you're
maybe
pro-white, you're part of the militia group.
Maybe it's like no. Don't let these people know what we really speak in our household, dog. Get this Fuentes guy out of here, right?
No, but there's a difference between pro-white and being, and I'll use a YouTube term, gracist. We'll teach you a new one instead of racist.
Word of
gracist.
The day. Word of the day.
I would rather it a friend that has it in them, and it comes out here and there. You know, like how they think.
So you'd rather have a racist friend or a low-key racist friend?
Well, like I wouldn't say like as a friend, but I could deal with them better than a person who would be hiding it. And then the minute you piss them off, that's when they want to drop the N-bomb. Nah, at least you know this person is saying like, yo, there's a difference between a black man and a N-word and an N-man, you know, and a nigga, right? There's a difference. Like I have a friend like that. He still f with niggas all day, but he knows the difference between a hardworking black man and then a nigga.
Yeah, so, but is he running around just using the N-word freely?
No. No, but if he has spoken it, it's in that sense.
That still could get kind of slippery, bro.
But
people are gonna be like, "Well, what?" They're not gonna wait to say,
he respects
what
a black
mean?
man. He respects the black man who wakes up, feeds his family, goes to work.
Yes, but
then
if
he's like, there's a difference between a black man and then there's a difference between a nigga. Anyone could be a nigga.
Yeah, but if he goes and calls a black guy a nigga in public, the black guy's not gonna wait to decipher. Wait a minute, do you mean like nigga like that way, or do you mean just like nigga like the real sense of the word before he punches the guy in the face?
Well, whatever, however you want to take it.
He's not gonna wait to decipher the shit.
However you want to take it, but if you're a black man and you know that what you do is right every day in your life, you're not gonna take a person giving you a scenario of how they are, or of like how they think of a man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna then punch. No, I'm a black man. You're describing me. That's why you're talking to me.
Yeah.
Right? You took the chance to talk to me, so you're explaining why you are like that.
But if somebody called me a nigga, they're still gonna get a punch in the face.
Obviously, but they're fully coming out and saying you this and that. I'm saying like, why you move like that? Why you move like that? Why don't you trust because there's a difference between a black man and then there's a difference between a nigga. This nigga gonna rob me. Like, you know what I mean? This black man is not. He's gonna come with his money and pay me, and I'm gonna give him his the service that he needs.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the difference. That's like low key racist. But I can actually deal with a person more like that because then it's like it's in black and white.
Yeah.
Then per se, I piss you off one day, and then you turn around. Whole time I'm thinking you're never like that, and then you want to call me every profanity known to man about black people. That's worse.
Yeah.
That's worse.
Well, listen, man. Salute to Dr. Umar. Maybe one day we can get him on the pod when we could afford it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it cost like $30,000 or something like that to get him on a show.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll just bump into him.
But he'll give you 5 hours of content if you pay up the $30,000. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Joe Button and them. I'm waiting to, maybe I'll go get the Patreon again and go check out the full episode.
We love hip hop.